10 years ago, I placed my very first trade. I was excited, I was hopeful, and totally clueless. I had no idea the ups and downs, how long it was gonna take me to become profitable. I thought you were just pressing buttons on a screen and you could make some money. Turns out it's not that easy. In this video, I'm gonna share my entire journey with you guys, the ups, the downs, the profits, the losses, all the lessons that I wish I knew so that you don't make those same mistakes. It all started when I got a call from my sister. She was living with my uncle at the time, and she asked me to come move in with her and help my uncle with a project. Little did I know, the project was my uncle teaching my sister and I how to trade. We were gonna record it, and it was for his new educational program. I moved in with my sister at my aunt and uncle's house, and it took us an entire year. The learning process, recording all the content. I was also blessed with the opportunity to learn how to work camera equipment, learn how to edit, learn how to use audio, learn how to sync up everything and make websites and code and do marketing. So I was blessed with the opportunity to learn how to do all of these cool trades while simultaneously, pun intended, learning how to trade. Some of the hardest lessons that I learned was that it takes a lot longer than you think. You have to take this education seriously. I was given this information for free. I did not take it seriously. It took me just a year to actually pursue trading more aggressively. I was looking at the charts maybe once a month. I just didn't take it seriously after I had learned all of the information. So that was the first learning curve for me, is that I just wasn't consistent with looking at the charts. I didn't actually believe in it. I wasn't pursuing it. I wasn't passionate about it. I had to find my own way back to trading. Another lesson that I learned was that psychology matters more than strategy. I had a pretty clear, simple strategy. You draw a line, when the line breaks, you get into the trade. But I realized that psychology, there's so much in psychology. Holding profits, knowing when to take losses, overtrading, beating yourself up, revenge trading. There is so much that you have to learn about yourself outside of just the strategy. Anyone can copy and paste a strategy, but it is how the trader handles the psychology that separates the profitable from non-profitable. Now, back in the day, when I started trading, I actually wrote, I say back in the day, I'm not that old, but I actually wrote all of my trades down. I wrote down my entry, my exit, what my profit was, what instrument I got into, when I traded, and I tried to really kind of keep track of what all of these profitable trades had in common or what all these losses had in common. Nowadays, you can use something like TradeZella, plug below. Use the coupon code Tori20 to get 20% off. You can automatically sync your brokerage account to a trading journal. It does all of that information for you now. Now you don't have to write it down. Although it's still nice to kind of write down your thoughts and your feelings alongside your actual trade. But I tried to figure out, what did all of these trades have in common? What did the winners have in common? What did the losers have in common? It was incredibly tedious actually writing that down. I wasn't as consistent with it, especially when you're a day trader and you're placing like 7 to 10 trades a day. You start to lose track and lose count. And then you just start kind of getting lazy with your journaling. You don't write everything down. But nowadays, you can sync your brokerage account to TradeZella or any trading journal, and it will kind of crunch those numbers for you. The coolest part is being able to go back and see, all right, this program will show you Fridays are your worst days. And that could very well be psychology. Maybe you're thinking, okay, it's Friday. I got to make up all the losses that I've taken on this week. Friday is the only day I can do that. And then you place stupid trades on Fridays. Or maybe it's Monday. You're too excited. You're too eager to get into a trade, and then you simply act on impulse. So this is a cool place to see, what are your losing days? What do your losers have in common? Is it the day of the week? Is it maybe the instrument that you're trading, the time frame? It's just a perfect place to see what these trades have in common, the losers and the winners, so that you can make adjustments and then slowly kind of start to narrow down the losers, get rid of them, and capitalize on more profitable trades, and just see what those losers have in common so that you can cut that out. I also put too much pressure on my trading results. It was such a heavy burden to take on when I started associating my self-worth with my trading profits. I thought that I was a useless human being if I was losing money in the markets. And you kind of go into depression. You don't think you're worthy, which then in turn makes your trading results suck, because then you don't feel like when you're in profit that you're worthy of that profit. So tying your self-worth to your trading results was an absolute no. If I could in any way, shape, or form urge you to just really go inward and realize that you can separate yourself from your trading results. You can separate yourself from the amount of money that you make or the amount of money that you lose, and that you're still a great person, you're still a great human, and it has nothing to do with the strategy. Maybe you're in crummy market conditions, and this is just what the market's given you with your strategy. So the biggest mistake was that I associated my self-worth with the amount of money that I was making in the markets. And if you can detach that and separate that, you're already ahead of the curve. So those were some of the hardest lessons that I had, but what was the turning point? How did I start to see that success? How did I gain that consistency and that profitability? One thing was having multiple sources of income. Turns out if you just rely on your trading, you make really stupid trading decisions. If you can kind of take off some of the pressure of your trading and bring in multiple sources of income, it makes your trading so much better. And I mean, that seems obvious, but for some reason, the internet thinks if you bring in more sources of income, you're not truly a trader. And that is the farthest thing from the truth. You become a better trader, a much better trader, if you can bring in more sources of income so that you take the pressure off your trade. You're able to truly trade based on the strategy, based on price action or whatever strategy that you use, but you can let the trade play out as a whole. You don't have to make crummy decisions, or you're not acting on impulse. You're not placing trades because you just need to make money or you have to pay that rent based on your trading results. Where if you can bring in multiple sources of income, the pressure on that trade is off. Now there's not so much stress that this trade has to work. This has to be the one. If the trade doesn't work out, okay, we're on to the next. So that's where multiple sources of income truly is a game changer. It takes the pressure off your trading. Another turning point was going back to that finding my way back to trading. When you're given information for free, you don't take it as seriously. It takes you a lot longer to find that success. If you can find your own passion and be consistent with it, you're going to find that profitability and that consistency. But you have to do it every day. You don't have to trade every day, but you've got to be looking at the charts. You've got to get those reps in. You got to get that chart time in, build that relationship with your instrument. But it all comes back to being consistent and taking it seriously. So I finally became consistent after years of struggle. So since I didn't take it as seriously the first year, and then the second year I had to develop my strategy and actually implement it, my learning curve took a little bit longer than most. And another turning point was making that transition from day trading to swing trading. Now, I was able to be consistent and profitable in day trading, but I never saw the numbers and the profits that I made when switching to swing trading. So that is my 10-year trading journey. I hope that inspires you to keep going and hope that you're able to understand through my experiences that everyone's is different. You may be experiencing very different things than I did, or maybe a very similar experience. Trading isn't easy, but if you can stay committed and avoid the same mistakes that I did, you will find your path to success. If you want guidance to fast track your journey and avoid wasting years like I did, click the link in the description to join my community. I'll see you guys in the next video.